Happy Good Sunday evening, Newtonians. I hope you had a wonderful Sunday. You deserve it. I'm going to get right to the point on this video. We're going to skip the glamour, glitz, and all the fancy stuff and go to the topic of homelessness. Plain and simple, straight up. Starting with a number of posts on Facebook concerning the homeless situation in Newton, some of which I participated in by posting photographs. The homeless topic came up again, and it's a problem. Now, I'm going to lose a lot of friends over this. In fact, on this somewhat sad day for me, I know I've already lost a few. And it's unfortunate that politics causes such division. But I'm a practical person. I'm a straight up person. And unfortunately, I've seen the worst that humanity can offer. For me, the homeless issue hit home Friday morning, I believe it was, when I woke up after a very rugged week. Getting ready to come to work and saw a post about a lady who received a golf cart ride home, who now has posted her experience for all to see. This lady's experience from Thursday night is out there on the internet, and I urge you to read it if you're interested. I will not take the time to repeat it, because I want this to be as brief as possible. For some of you that think I have a hard heart, I'm sorry, that's not accurate, but I probably can never change your mind. And if that's what you think, and that I don't want to help the homeless, I don't want to feed the hungry, I don't want to assist the lesser of our citizens, then find another candidate to vote for. I'm not your person, because I care deeply. But also what has become evident to me this week is that there are folks that are afraid, and they're living in filth, especially in the downtown area where we just spent $12.6 million of our money to spruce it up, both appearance-wise and infrastructure-wise. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money. I mentioned that with the growth that's coming up the road from Charlotte, we need to be ready for that, and I don't think we are, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But with growth comes other problems. Crime is one of those problems. And a lot of my friends tell me, even though I'm long away from my law enforcement days, that Newton's not what it used to be. And I tend to believe that. And that saddens me as well. So from here on out, let me concentrate on what we can do in Newton. We can continue to feed the hungry. We can continue to assist the homeless if they'll let us. But nobody should live in fear and filth. And as a last resort, when all else fails, we should enforce the law. Harsh? That's reality. It bothers me that folks with great hearts cannot see the practicality of what we're dealing with, and it bothers me that I'm going to lose friends over it. But when you've seen the worst that society has to offer, such as anybody in the public safety area has seen, then you'll understand why sometimes we can seem harsh and to the point. I've had perfect strangers die in my arms. I've seen a complete family wiped out in a traffic accident in my former town when they fell off the interstate onto my street. Now that will make you sad. But somebody caused that accident, and somebody has caused the filth and the fear that some of our people feel. And it's not up to me or you to decide what makes a person afraid or what makes a person angry about filth. That's up to them. But nobody in the city of Newton should be afraid or have to deal with filth every day or even every other day. Now, all this homeless talk brought about a most interesting city council meeting Tuesday night. At the last moment, as I've been told, a lot of things were added to the agenda to bring up to the public department heads to speak about the homeless situation. Why? Because people have made it clear in Newton they've had enough. And I don't blame them. We're not harsh. We don't dislike people. We don't have hate in our hearts. We just want a clean and safe town. So what did the city council and the city administration give us Tuesday night? The same thing they've said for 3 or 4 years. No solutions, just pontification. Well, I heard about the hurricane. Yeah, it might have brought some folks in. It likely did. That was a year or so ago. And then COVID. Whatever COVID was, however the government handled it, COVID was several years ago. And I don't know how that has kept them, meaning the city, council, and administration, from addressing the homeless problem. We already know and believe that homelessness is not a crime, and homeless folks have rights. I haven't heard a person dispute that. But what I haven't heard is the citizens have rights as well. Those rights should be balanced, and in my opinion, they are balanced against the citizens right now. And as a city council member, that's what I intend to change. I do not want to be accused of being a fearmonger because I'm just practical, but I'm going to say this. The last several days we've seen an assassination, we've seen another school shooting, and we've seen the slaughter of a young lady on the light transit system in Charlotte. Charlotte's just up the road, folks, and it's headed this way. Now, if you think that these kinds of things can't and won't happen in Newton, you're just naive. That's just a simple fact. But it's not just Newton, it's anywhere. There is evil in this world. The Bible talks about it. Some folks don't care. So we can make sure in the city of Newton that our policies and procedures are balanced. The citizens do have rights. The homeless have rights. But I want to see the policies and procedures of the city of Newton to be at least balanced so that the citizens have a chance to get the problems that are brought to them by wrongdoers. Bring that to conclusion. So instead of telling us things that we already know, what I did not hear council say was what were they going to do about it. Now, if you'll notice, things have gotten a little better since Tuesday night. You think it might be because they felt the heat from those of us that are tired of this? Do you think they know they're in trouble and it's an election year? And myself and Riesel Wright and Scott Gilliland represent significant change and improvement? Sure they do. So the streets are a little better now. And they think that you won't notice that it happened right before the election time. Just like our project seems to be coming along at the Carrier building. And 2 years ago when it was first announced right before the election. Well, 2 years later, maybe we're going to see some progress. So what can I and my running mates do to fix this? Well, we're not going to end homelessness. We're not going to solve all the mental health problems that the state, in my opinion, is ignoring. We're not going to be able to fix the care that we provide to our elder citizens either. That's a state problem, even a national problem, and it's naive of folks to think that federal and state politics can somehow be left out of local politics. That's naive. Where does federal money come from? Where does state grants come from? Well, it comes through us as the citizens, through those levels of government. So yes, we have to bring national and state matters into this election. So we're going to make sure as council members that we have every possible resource that we can get our hands on addressing the homeless problem. Locally, what we can do is stop the underfunding of the police department and the waste of money for things we don't need. It is my position, with the growth coming, and we've known it for years, it's my position that the city council has ignored the police department. Where are those officers? Where are the plans for future officers? Why have, in my recollection, past requests for extra personnel been denied? Why are we not getting ready now to put more folks on the street to keep us safe and to protect us? Why is the police department, in my opinion, not getting the funds they need for proper training? And we will also address the policies and procedures in place that we believe are hampering the officers and workers in the city that we know and respect and we believe have the citizens' interest at heart. We'll make sure you get what you need. But you may not get all the frills you want. The days of tabernacles and Taj Mahals may be ended for more practical needs. But we're going to see that the money's not wasted, that the needs are met, and our citizens are served and protected by all city departments. So instead of a city council and a mayor, and to some extent department heads that congratulate themselves every night on what a great job they're doing and how much they care, and then go wherever they go, to a bar, to home, whatever, and forget about it, or think you won't remember it, or I won't remember it. Those days are over. If you elect myself and Scott, Gilliland, and Riesel Wright to City Council, we will put you first, and we will take care of your money. We will guard your money like it's our own, because it really is all our money. And we will respond to you as much as humanly possible, either directly and personally or through our quarterly public meetings, where the time limits will be generous and the topics will be whatever you want those topics to be. And then I'll make you a money-back guarantee with respect to myself. Give me a year. See what you think. If in a year you will all come tell me that I have failed you and did not deliver on what I promised, assuming that your beliefs are reasonable, I'll resign. I don't need this job. I am taking this on because I know you need myself, Scott, and Riesel to fix what's wrong. And you think we're negative. How can you fix something if you don't address what's wrong and give a solution to fix it? Look at what we've told you already. Listen to what we say between now and early voting. If you think we are not going to be able to deliver, if you think that what you get now is okay, well, we're not your candidates. Vote for the status quo. Maybe between now and then they'll find their voices and actually explain some of what we've complained about. Or maybe they'll continue to put out signs. We're out here, we're telling you what we think. We're giving you solutions. We're making promises. That's what politicians do. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. You can take it to the bank. We'll deliver. And I'm giving you your personal money-back guarantee. I'm likely not to run for another term. I don't believe that you should stay on council for years and years. What I'm about to say applies only to me and nobody else, and don't you dare think I'm talking about any other candidate, because you're wrong. I don't want to stay on council to where I cannot think clearly, function properly, and do the job the way it needs to be done. So you got a year's money back guarantee on me. You've got a very likely one-term candidate for council. I work hard. I'm not afraid of anything, and you can take that to the bank as well. I care about people. I'm going to lose some friends. I'm sorry. I really am. But practicality has got to be part of the homeless situation and solution. But I care enough to do what's needed to be done to fix the problems, including homelessness. I thank you for your time on this Sunday evening. I welcome your comments. I readily post my address and my telephone number, and many of you have reached out. I hope you'll continue to. May God bless you, and have a good week.